What's up? Sorry for the sour face. Trying to eat my Greek yogurt and berries. Yeah, sorry. So basically, I'm gonna do a video. Well, we're on to the series of one dribble pull-up mid-game. So I found one video by Any Means Basketball. I'm assuming those are the guys that do attention to detail and stuff like that. They're nice with their basketball breakdowns. So we're gonna try that. We're gonna watch that now, and I'm gonna see what I get from these videos.
It puts the offensive player in a great advantage because the defense the whole time is guessing. And I like those odds as an offensive player.
Take a look at the top players at every level. The vast majority have one thing in common. It's an ongoing argument in the basketball community now. Is the mid-range game really dead? Should it be? But all great players can score from all three levels. At the bucket from three, and then in the mid-range with pull-ups. It really just diversifies your game so much. So let's take a look at how you can mimic the best ever and come closer and closer to perfecting these pull-ups.
Okay, let's go. Let's see what his breakdowns are.
So first, we'll start off with a simple question. When do we use a pull-up jumper? So it all starts with an attack. You're rarely going to get to a pull-up without getting the defender moving backwards. Defenders are likely to turn their hips and transition into a sprint once they feel like they're getting beat off the dribble. It's instinct. So in order to get to that pull-up, you absolutely have to get them moving. And that can come off a dribble, out of triple threat,
getting the ball in the hands of Carmelo Anthony playing one-on-one back,
or even with contact like Gilbert does here. But regardless, it has to happen.
So what he's saying, right, is like you have to be able to get someone. It's not so much moving, but it's more off balance. You get someone off balance, you'll be able to get your pull up. You don't necessarily need to have them moving. That's just another way of saying it. So if you can get someone to, you don't have to make them move, but if they're low and you pull up high, like 1+1, they can't reach the ball, you know what I mean? So just getting someone off balance will allow you to get a pull up real easy.
After this, it's just a matter of being able to separate on that pull up and then being comfortable enough in that shot to knock it down. But it's also important to note that pull up, and especially the footwork on that pull up, will many times be different, depending on the situation as well as the position and momentum of your defender. So for example, if your defender gets turned quickly and you read it very early like Kawhi here, that pull-up step should be very short.
Bang bang.
Just like this clip, you see where Melo gets into it here. There's really no reason to take that long step when your defender's already trying to beat you to the spot. So you just stop short and pop it. Many times though, it will be a long step. If your defender is somewhat behind you, trying to catch up, or has just kind of turned into that sprint, you take that long stride into the pull-up like you see here, so that by the time they're ready to jump or they catch up, you're off the ground into that shot. No catching up to that. Think about it like this. It's a race to get into the air first. Take whatever length step you need to get there. And then sometimes you'll have to separate laterally.
I'm watching this with you guys and learning, okay?
When your defender's a little bit more in place or to your side, you may have to get away from your defender into open.
They consider those lateral steps like escape dribbles. Basically, you have your person in a certain spot and you just almost like throw the ball away and then run to that position.
Base and knock down the jumper.
Leonard just 2-3.
You'll notice that your feet should be staggered like Kobe's are here, with that second foot slightly behind the first. This will help you bring your momentum to a halt and rotate your body towards the basket for a more accurate shot.
That's funny because we're not like my learning is if your inside foot, whether you're going from the right of the rim or the left of the rim, that's considered your inside foot. So if you're on the left side of the rim, then you step in and you go left right, it's more inside outside foot. And if that inside foot aims to the ring first, your inside shoulder will follow. And then once you turn around, your outside foot or your right foot in this position, in this predicament, would be your balance foot, and that will help you spring up. So when you do a wider step, like if you know what planter step, when you're learning vertical, if you do a planter step, what they tell you to do is on your second to last step away from your body as far as you can, and then let it grip the floor, boom, and then your outside foot will stop your momentum and kind of help you propel upwards. And so it's the same thing with a jump shot, right? If you curl off a corner, if you curl off a screen or something, and then you do your 1-2 step planter and then the outside foot, it'll help you jump higher, balance up a lot easier, and then get that jump shot over your person. But he's saying you use your outside foot to balance up, which is weird.
Finally, they released him, picked him up.
But there are definitely a few things that all pull-ups have in common, that every great pull-up shooter has on lock. So first is a forward lean. Remember what I talked about with getting that first step downhill to get your defender moving backwards? If we're being honest, that will never work unless you're in an acceleration position, which is a lean with those shins and that trunk angle. This will sell to your defender that you're driving, so they're much more likely to turn their hips and give you that shot. Plus, the better of an acceleration position you're in, the more ground you cover faster, which makes you much.
If you realize when you take off from somewhere and you fall over a lot, my guy, it's because your abs are weak. If you can't spin off of the ball whenever you want, if you can't cut wherever you want, my guy, it's because you're weak. I have shit abs right now. I'm a fat motherfucker, but trust me, if you work on your core, and that's your whole thing, your obliques, your abdominals, your back, your lower back, all of that shit, if you get that stronger, when you do those curls or when you do those one dribble pull-ups, if you can go as deep as you can and then accelerate up, it'll help your jump shot accuracy so much more, even your pull-up game from deep.
Much more difficult to defend here.
So all these guys are doing like he's saying accelerations. When you go to stop, they just explode up. If you don't have core, man, you are not doing that.
Period. Second is dropping those hips and shoulders. This kind of goes hand in hand with a forward lean. The lower you get by dropping the
So if you do that and you have no abs, you're just gonna fall forwards.
level of those hips and shoulders, the more of an athletic position you're in. At this point, not only can you explode into that dribble faster, but you can get that quick pop off the ground into that pull-up.
That's
Without
so
dropping
right.
those hips, you won't have much power getting into that jump. It's just science. You have less range of motion for those muscles to put force into the ground and develop power to send you off the ground. Third is a delayed pickup. It's important that you never pick up the ball too early. Once you pick up that ball, you have two options, to pass or to shoot. And you never want to trap yourself in that position. So try not to pick up that ball for that shot until that back foot touches and you're ready to pop up into that shot.
Explode.
That way you can easily ball fake and counter pass if the defender closes more than expected. And then the last key we'll talk about is taking a long final step. The obvious reason for this is to get that extra bit of separation you may need into the pull-up. And yeah, that's true. But taking a long step here also creates a deceleration position by making that shin angle negative.
On the drive, on the pull-up, punching right the field.
So in other words,
if I add doing that, if your knees are weak as well, it's gonna hurt like fuck. So please slowly build your way into doing those fast accelerations. Do like plyometric depth drops, plyometrics, box jumps, all that stuff. Just build your knees up to it, because if you do that from point blank and you're going hella fast, that shit's gonna hurt.
knee is closer to being fully extended than it is to a 90-degree angle. This way you'll also strike with that heel. This combination will help you stop your forward momentum and begin to redirect it upwards, which is vital once again to having that pop off the ground that you'll need. So as you can see,
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop there because that was a good breakdown. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna rattle off into these as well, and I'm gonna get capping with these. Thank you so much. Later.